All right, guys. Hi. Welcome back to the Relatable podcast. My name is Allie Braggs, and I'm so glad that you're here. Today's topic is about being proud of yourself. And I didn't really think this podcast through, not in the bad way, but actually in the good way. I had a moment in therapy today. Yes, I did go to therapy. It's been so great. And it's been really informative, and I love it. I think everyone should go to therapy in their life, at least for a little bit, because it's helpful, whether it's for the situation you're going through in the moment or you want to get help with past stuff. But I digress. I was in therapy today, and it just hit me that I have grown so much from the person that I used to be. And so, to give context, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. So, I am a natural born people pleaser. That's what I do. I love to make everyone happy. Making people happy makes me happy, makes me feel satisfied. And that's fine. There's a limit to it. There needs to be a limit to it. And I used to have no limits. People used to walk all over me. I was the butt of a lot of jokes. I got teased a lot. I would do things for people that I didn't want to do. I was just put in a lot of crappy situations. Just all of those things where I just felt like the bottom of someone's shoe. Like I had been walked all over. And honestly, that was me for a lot of my life. That was Allie. But everyone else was happy, and I put on this smile so everyone thought that I was happy, when in reality I wasn't. I was in quote-unquote friendships, and they weren't really my friends. They weren't nice people. I didn't really have a lot of true friends or true relationships in my life. And so today, we just took a moment to be proud. To be proud of where I've come from where I have been. So I think that's the point of today's message. The relatable moment that I want you to have. The message, I think I just said that. But the point I'm trying to get across is that life sucks right now. Like, we all know what's happening. It's the second civil rights movement, essentially. And I am going to do a podcast on it, but I want that one to be really thought out. So I don't want... Hello, air freshener. I want that one to be really thought out and really factual, and I want to have everything kind of written out for that. So it's coming. But it's okay if right now life is decent for you. If it's okay. And I took that moment to be proud. My life is okay. I'm safe. I'm not in a really bad area. There have been some protests, but not in the area that I'm in. Haven't really been affected by them. I honestly live in a decent apartment complex, and there are a few other people of color, so I haven't really been hit with anything. Don't talk to a whole lot of people right now. If I go out into public, haven't really seen anything too crazy in my area, so it's not like I'm in a place where I'm getting hit with a lot of it, just on social media, So my life is okay. And it's okay that it's okay. A lot of people's lives aren't right now, and that is so sad, and we have to validate that. But if your life is all right now, take it for what it is right now, because you're going to have moments where it's not. And so I was talking to my therapist, and we talked about how I wouldn't be taking this moment to be proud previously. So some of the moments that we talked about I should be proud for is I want a certain position at work. I want to work on a certain team, and I emailed 2 of the leaders that I work with that can help me get there, or at least give me advice on how to get there. And as nerve-wracking as it is, and they're probably going to say no because I sent that Friday, and today is Tuesday night when I'm recording this, and they haven't sent anything to me. And hopefully I'll update you guys in a podcast in the future on how that goes, because I'm going to check in with them tomorrow to see if they have any feedback. But yeah, I shot my shot. I guess that's the only way to say it. But I wouldn't have even 6 months ago. I just would have sat there and done the work and been upset and not advocated for myself, or at least reached out and put my name out there. And if you're in the corporate space right now, you know how nerve-wracking and hard that can be. And if you're not in the corporate space, it's hard and it's nerve-wracking. So that was something to be proud about, because in the past I would have sat there and not been like, hey, I have the skills that you're looking for to help this group be what it really can be and be the best at what it can do. So, hey, pick me. And I know that there's a lot of mediocre white men who shoot their shot every day and get picked. And I am not a mediocre white man. And I bring this phrase up because I've seen it on Pinterest and on, Instagram and stuff. But my friend actually, she said it to me when I was talking to her about sending this email to these 2 execs. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't send this email. Am I overreaching? Am I being too much? And she literally said, what would a mediocre white man do? A mediocre white man would probably just schedule a meeting, honestly, about a position that he can go into on the team that he wants. And so, yeah, send the email. Send the email. Do the thing. Text the person. Call the person. Whatever it is that you're scared to do right now in this moment, do it. Make the person you were 6 months ago proud of who you are right now. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be scary. You're going to have anxiety out the butt. You're going to think about it. You're going to literally fret over sending or over hitting send. But it's going to be worth it. Because I know no matter what, I can say that at least I tried. And that's important. There are a lot of times in my life where I didn't try, and I've been upset that I didn't even try. So that was a moment to be really proud of. I think I kind of talked about it last episode, but I had this really crappy friendship situation blow up at the beginning of this year. And it was shitty. There's no other way to talk about it. It sucked. And because of that, I basically lost the only friends I had in Kansas City. And I was friendless. Yeah, I was friendless in the city. I did nothing but go to work, talk to 3 people, and then go home. That was it. I said hi to the mailman and the bus driver. So, and that was my life for a little while. But the premise of this argument is that I wouldn't back down on how I felt, and I wanted these people who I thought were my friends to just understand, like, I get the situation. It's crappy. Everyone needs to be validated. Yes, I'm just letting you know this is how I felt. I'm sorry for how I made you feel, but this is how I felt. So I just want you to validate me too. Like, I want you to understand my feelings. And I had this standard of friendship. Like, I was holding them to a high standard of friendship. And in the situation, they didn't meet it. So when I was saying that I was upset, I was crazy and not understanding and all of these things. And it sucks. But yes, I lost friends. But also, my therapist reminded me today, like, yes, it sucks. You were alone. You lost friends. But did you really lose, like, quality people that you needed in your life? Like, if I have a certain standard of friendship that I want, and if the other people in my life would have met that, then, and they didn't, so it's like, why are they in your life? And I think that was really important. And that was kind of like a big shift for me at the beginning of the year. And I used that situation a lot of times to kind of judge, like, am I really being crazy or not? And just the kind of friends that I want in my life. And I don't even know if this podcast episode makes sense. Like I said at the beginning, I just had the biggest urge to make this episode. And it's just all about being proud of where you've been and who you're becoming and who you are right now in this moment. Like, I know that Allie right now, sitting at her desk with a slight headache at 9 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, isn't perfect. And I still have a lot of work to do. But when I look on previous situations in my life, a lot of the things that people did to me, there's no way they could get away with that shit now. Like, we tell this story in my friend group. I had a roommate get upset. We love this girl to death. We just shouldn't have been roommates at that time. You know, you always have that friend where you're like, oh my God, let's be roommates. And then you're like, we shouldn't have done this. But friendship is still intact. But that year, we were just so back and forth with each other. And it was on one of our off times. But I knew that she was upset. And being the people pleaser that I am, and really just the friend that I am, I still wanted to make sure she was okay. Like, I still would go and check on her, ask her if she was okay, if she wanted a Sonic drink, you know. If I was getting Sonic, I'd get it for her because I knew it would make her feel better. But I went to check on her, and I opened the door, and I was like, hey, you okay? And she goes, shut my fucking door. And I shut the door. And we laugh about this story now. Oh, we love laughing about it now. And I walked down the hall and I walked to my best friend's room and I was like, this just happened. Like, she told me to shut her fucking door. And I have never seen my friend that angry. But I say all of this to say oh, if the bitch had tried it now. Do you guys ever have those moments in your life where you're like, can I go back in time and like in that situation, but be who I am now? Because if she had just said those words to me in the brain space that I am now, ooh, ma'am, I'm gonna show you shutting the fucking door. And I love this girl. I love this girl to death. She is a really, really, really great friend. I love her. She loves me. I think we could be roommates again because we're both at a space to where, like I said, if she had tried that shit now, I would just slam open her door and read her like Electra would from Pose. Maybe not Electra. Maybe Blanca from season 1. But again, I digress. But yeah, it's just, that's where I was 3.5 years ago. I put up with it then. There's no way in hell I would put up with it now. And I'm just taking a moment to be proud of that growth. I'm taking a moment where, yes, I lost friends and I'm in a city by myself. And it sucks. But I know that the people I have in my life are quality right now. And I also know that I'm proud of sticking up for myself in a situation where honestly I think that they kind of thought that I wouldn't. I'm proud that when it comes to my anxiety and depression, still figuring out some of my triggers, but I at least know that like when I'm in that moment, I have a little bit more insight on how to get me out of that. I know the boundaries that I need to have with my family when I used to have none and I used to let them walk all over me. Now, not so much. I know what the word no means. Gosh. I could go on and on and on about what I should be proud about. And I think that's a good thing. I think that we as humans, some humans, don't get me wrong, don't take enough moments. I'm trying not to cry. We don't take enough moments to be proud of ourselves and the growth that we have. And yeah, it's taken me, 6-7 months of therapy to realize that. But I have. It's like, I was telling my therapist today, like, I have therapy every 2 weeks, and I was like, the past 2 weeks have been normal, personally. Like, I don't know. Like, how do I even explain it? I couldn't even explain it in my therapy session. But I was like, I feel okay. Like, I had a good 2 weeks. Didn't have crazy highs, didn't have crazy lows. I felt normal for once. I actually made my bed. I drank enough water. I took my vitamins. I took my anxiety meds on time and my nighttime meds on time. You know, I put myself first. And I didn't feel bad about it. I shot my shot when it came to something I wanted, and at least I know that I tried. I'm doing things. I'm getting back into hobbies that I love. And I'm not letting those voices who tell me that I shouldn't have this or shouldn't love this win. And you know what? Maybe these next 2 weeks, everything will go to hell. But I'm going to remember this moment. I'm going to remember the night at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday where for once Allie got a point. And it was a 3-pointer, all right? I'm going to give myself that. It was the game-winning point at the end of the season. God, I hate crying. I don't know. Maybe this podcast is nothing but, rambles. Maybe it does make sense. Maybe you are sitting in your car or in the shower or on your bed or on the bus or driving, and you connect so much with this episode. And if you do, I hope that when you turn this podcast off, you take your own moment to be proud. Take a moment to think about where you've been and where you've come. And go ahead and sign up for that therapy session you've been putting off. Because it's worth it. It's so worth it. Yeah. That's it. I think that's all I have for today. There's not a relatable moment. Maybe the story was. Maybe this whole podcast is a relatable moment for you this week. Yeah. I just want you all to know that it's okay if life isn't okay, and it's okay if it is. Take a moment to be proud of yourself. And it's also okay if you're still not ready for that. Because if you had told this to me 6 months earlier, I wouldn't have been. But I am now. And I'm going to think back to this episode, even if no one else listens to it, and make sure that every now and then I check in with myself. But, yeah. Oops. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I got a text message. But, yeah. That's it. That's all, folks. Thanks for listening. I cried a little. I hope you cried a little, too. If you're a guy and you're listening to this, it's okay that you cried. If you didn't cry, it's okay. You can cry in the shower after. I hope you all have a wonderful day or evening or morning whenever you're listening to this. And I hope that you all go on to have a relatable moment. Bye.